Hey everyone, thank you for joining me today. I'm going to be doing a reading for you, as you saw in the title, for your deceased loved one, relative, ancestor. So let me see here. It's unusual that I use this deck for these readings, but that's what's going to happen today. I hope you all are doing very, very well and life is treating you kindly. Oh goodness, okay, thank you. I'm just going to start pulling cards here and see what Spirit wants to say. But I already have someone coming through, as you know, it's become typical here that I get the person before I even hit the record button. But I'm grateful for that. That's wonderful that it's happening so quickly like that. This person, let me stop a second because I'm actually being distracted by shuffling here. Let me just talk. So this is a gentleman who, how do I put this? It's like he has a split personality, and I'm not making light of that at all. I mean, sincerely, I'm certainly not a psychologist or medical profession, but the energy I feel from this man is he has two very distinct personalities. And what Spirit is showing me is that he had a trauma in early childhood, and he keeps saying uncle, 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 and that's about as far as he will tell me right now. But something happened with this uncle that traumatized this child and caused him to have this personality disorder or split personality as he grew up. And so one side of him, the side that that he came in with originally, is this very shy, painfully shy person. He was a recluse, to be honest with you. He's showing me this life where he lived in a kind of an apartment building, like a high-rise kind of building, and he rarely went out. You know, he's one of those that would, if they delivered groceries, he would crack the door and kind of, I'm not even sure he would let them in. He would probably make them put it on the floor or something, or hand it to him. And he was just, I don't know that he had agoraphobia, but I believe that's the correct term for people who are afraid to leave their homes. But the energy around him feels very much like that. Like he just didn't want to be around people, didn't want to go out and interact with people at all, and was just, you know, basically in tremendous fear of that. He's showing me a woman that he was close to, and I believe this was his sister. Could have been a sister-like person, but it, you know, like a neighbor or someone, but that's the feeling I'm getting from this relationship, that this woman was like a sister or was his sister. And so that's who this message will be for today. So let me talk a little bit more about him. But here's the interesting thing, and I know you guys get tired of just looking at nothing down here, but hopefully you don't mind too bad that my southern drawl and my sound of my voice. Okay, I'll go ahead and shuffle. Here is what he's showing me too, though. But what most people never knew about him was this secret that he kept, because of this secondary personality that he would, you know, it was reminded of kind of the Joker, or the movie where Jim Carrey played, he had the mask, and there was just these two very different personalities and extremely difference. And so he would dress up, I mean, he's even using the word cross-dresser, but that's not accurate in my understanding. He just dressed up in these Joker-esque, bright, almost like Alice in Wonderland kind of colors, and bright colors and neon. I mean, he just, this whole, you would never know it was the same person. And I think he might have even worn some makeup and maybe a wig, and I don't even know the extent of this, but that's kind of what he's showing me. And then when he left his apartment, or I guess he would have to get into this personality before then to put on all this facade here. But he did. He literally became a much more outgoing person. You know, he would just go up to strangers and talk to them. He would go to bars. He would do things. He would just be these, again, totally different personality. And he's saying something about a trigger. There was a trigger. I'm not sure if he means, okay, something about this woman, trying to get a grasp on this, what I'm feeling. The woman, the message again, who this is meant for, apparently was, y'all, I'm just going to have to stop using these cards. I don't know, just kind of almost in my way here. And I'm leaning on my table and when I do, it shakes the camera, so I apologize for that. Something about this woman, it's almost like he was hypnotized. Now, this is not true, I don't think, but the energy I'm feeling is like this woman's voice when she heard him, or she would call him or something, was a trigger for the switch in his personality. But that would be what would bring him back to the quiet introvert. So I guess this, maybe he talked to this lady every day, or maybe he talked to her, I don't know what, but something about she was to sum it up, she was the grounding force in his life that would bring him kind of out of that more bodacious personality and back to being the quiet introvert. Let me see if there's anything else while I shuffle. I did say I was going to shuffle. I did say that, didn't I? I said that. I know I said it more than once. Oh, okay. Spirit just said stop. All right, well, stop. Now, I did cut the deck. All right, so let me just pull some cards here. And I know they're all in reverse. That doesn't mean everything you think it means, because I have to check, because some of these, sometimes I use this with reversals and sometimes I don't. So, okay, and it looks like, all right, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Well, no, first I'm going to look at this and then I'm going to do that. Well, actually, okay. I thought I was going to turn the cards upside down because it felt to me like this deck was reversed, but that's not what I'm seeing and hearing. So let me go with this. Going back to that statement, in fact, I think it's verifying what I was just saying, which oftentimes happens when, you know, a reader pulls cards. When you're really reading the energy, you're not so much reading the cards. It's saying that in the time that, you know, this can be a card of divine timing. So the timing about when he went in, the truth about the timing when he would go in and out of these two personalities, like life is good, I'm happy, or I'm going inside and into my hermit mode, into my cave. The truth of that is just verifying what I just said. The truth of that is, and I bet you, yeah, I was just, okay. The truth about that was this woman, she was somehow pivotal in triggering him, or again, she was a grounding force, I believe. Or the opposite, she was, I don't like it when people give me two opposite stories in a reading. I just don't. Let me see what's under. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Spirit. That was verification. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So this woman was the grounding force for him coming back to the good. I don't like to use that good and bad word. That's not really appropriate. But to the quieter personality he had. Because this other one, with the other side of him, the other personality was a bit mischievous, I will say that. He wasn't evil by any stretch, just mischievous, and he would push boundaries when he shouldn't, and not, you know, always acting appropriately, and those kinds of things. Yeah. And as I say that, the communication card comes out in reverse. Pardon me. And I think he would be, he would be impulsive. Spirit's just backing me up here. And even, but let me just keep pulling a few cards, because that's what Spirit's doing. It's just backing me up on the energy I'm feeling here. Now this is, okay, this is interesting. All right, so, but something happened here. Okay. I think he got to the point where he liked his, I'm going to call it the alter ego personality. he liked that part of himself more than the more introverted person. And he got to where there was something I forgot to tell you. Let me finish my sentence. He got to where he was making bad judgments in order to stay into that more extroverted personality, and again was doing things that he should not have been doing, that were not healthy for him and were leading him down a darker path. But what I was going to say was, when I started the reading, he showed me something, I just forgot to mention it, that one of the things he did, I see him with like traditional comic books. Now they could have been more contemporary ones, they don't have to be the older version, whatever, it doesn't matter, but something like that, like a comic book. And instead of just sitting and reading it, I see him cutting out the figures with scissors. I don't know what he was doing with them, but he was making something, making a story, a collage or a story, something. Maybe he was in some way living out the fantasies of his alter ego through these comic books. That could have been something that he did. I know that's such an incredibly specific message, but it's what he showed me. And anyway, yeah, but I think there was a moment where this got the better of him and something happened. I'm not sure what it was, but his world, yeah, the rug was pulled out from under him, his rug, the proverbial rug. The truth came out about his personality. I'm just looking to see what else is under here, yeah. And I don't know, he's not showing me what happened. Yeah, I'm reaching, but he's not showing me what happened. But ultimately something happened that, whatever, maybe it caused his death, maybe he did something irrational, I don't know. It could have been he got locked up. I mean, I'm not seeing that clearly. But what I would like to do, okay, I'd like to, no, they're saying not that deck. To pull, Spirit, what else do you want me to say here? Because normally, I pull cards for the living person, but this was all still telling the story of him. So what else do you want me to convey today to the viewers? Spirit, what else would you have me convey for these viewers today, please? Oh, do I have the deck? Yeah, right side up. Because this one doesn't have reversals. I'm not reading reversals in this one. So I'm shuffling. I don't know if y'all can see them shuffling here. So let's see what this deck has to say. The Light Seer deck. Tell me, Spirit, what would you... okay, that's unconventional. Hold on, y'all. Excuse me. They're telling me... All right, thank you. Just don't usually do that. And they're, I keep saying that, don't usually do that, but every day there's something new, and Spirit just keeps changing it up for me. And I'm okay with that. Let's see what else. Okay, this one. All right, thank you. Okay, and maybe one more. You're trying to hide. Okay. Whew. The more I get into this, I feel like this person, this woman figure, perhaps you were this person's neighbor, or, you could have been the sister, sure, but again, that was just an energy, how I felt the energy. In other words, it wasn't a romantic connection. I didn't get that feeling. you could have been a neighbor, and I think you might have been his only friend. This is kind of what I'm hearing here. You might have been his only friend, that you saw the better side of him. That's actually the way Spirit's wording that. You saw the better side of him. Even though he was a recluse, you saw the better side of him. He's also saying you did things for him, like you would do errands that he couldn't or wasn't comfortable going out and doing. You would do things for him or bring him things, take just that kind of a caring person that you were to look out for him. What else, Spirit? And I think sometimes when you would go on, maybe you had family that were out of the city somewhere and you would go on a trip to visit them, it was like he would just panic. He would panic when you would go away. He just felt like you were his, thank you, that's the word. You were his lifeline many times, and I don't know that you knew that. I don't think you did know that. I think you just, were being a good neighbor and trying to be, doing to others kind of person, and you were just doing the kind and the nice and the right thing. But he's saying you just didn't realize what a lifeline you were for him. You may have even helped him monetarily. You may have, I don't know if you gave him money or you just loaned him some money from time to time, or just you helped him, like if you would bring him groceries or whatever, some gesture that was that helped him out in a financial way. It seems that, and you brought what he wants to convey is you brought so much joy by those small little gestures, those small things. You had no idea. You were just being you. You were just being kind. You didn't mean anything other than being a good neighbor and reaching out and in that way. But apparently you made a huge impact in this gentleman's life. Let's see what else. He's saying that, as he got older, he started to see, he realized, I think on some level, he was becoming more mentally ill, but he realized it. He also knew that. He knew it. And he almost, this is interesting. He's saying he knew it, but he didn't want to stop it. It's like he felt much more freedom in this alter ego personality than he did in his own normal, quote unquote, normal shy personality. It was like he felt like an animal being let out of a cage when he was in this alter personality. And I think he just got to the point where he didn't want to go back to the shy personality that was more him, or the true him. And I think I don't know if that means, maybe it means he just kind of flipped out and never went back. Maybe he got into the alternate personality and chose to never go back to the other version of him, and then something happened. That could have been it. I mean, that easily could have been it. But he's just saying, but he knew, I'm attracted to the light here on this Hangman card. He knew, he knew what he was doing on some level, and part of that was a conscious level. He knew what he was doing. I just keep hearing that. He said, nobody needed to feel sorry for me. I knew what I was doing, even though it seemed like I didn't, and I wasn't in my right mind, and in a way I wasn't. Still, it was what I felt I had to do to survive. That's what he's saying. Okay. And I'm looking just the bottom of the deck, see if there's anything relative Yeah, I mean, I'm just getting from these cards just pretty much that same message, that it's like he was running away from his own foundation, was running away from his true self. And the only way, you know, he knew to set himself free and to lay those burdens down was to, you know, take a leap, make a choice. He had to make a choice between these two realities, because otherwise he was just trapped. He felt like going back and forth. It was driving him crazy, which eventually I think I'm not trying to make a pun on words here, but it did. You know, he's saying so much was unseen that people never knew, but that behind the scenes part was the part that, yeah, there's the tower again, yeah. In the end, he chose, you know, this is behind the scenes secrets, but I'm hearing the word illusion. I'm hearing the word illusion, but in this case, the illusion was his choice. He wanted to go toward that, and then, you know, his world blew up. So, you know, he took a risk on this new journey. I know it's not the full card, but this is that's what the energy I'm getting off of that, you know. Anyway, I don't want to go too deep there in the deck, but that is the energy that I'm getting and the story that I'm getting. So he's just coming through that, you know, if you, his friend, find this message, and I hope that you will, he's basically just coming through to say thank you for all that you did for him, for being there for him, for caring about him. And, oh, that's interesting. Thank you. He's saying, even though he's on the other side, he's actually saying, and I will be back to make it up to you. I will make this up to you. We'll see each other again, and I just very adamantly saying, I will make this up to you. Just you know, I'll see you again, and I will make this up to you. I will do something nice for you, is the implication, in the future, in another lifetime. So, okay, great. Well, thank you for watching, everybody, and if you would be so kind as to hit that like button and subscribe, or share this video. If you think you know who this message is for, please share it with them. You know, and for every like you comment on a video you make, YouTube says, oh, this is content that somebody wants to see. Let's show it to more people. And they push it out to a broader audience, which means this is more likely to reach the person it's meant for. So I'm very grateful for all of that. Thank you all so much. I wish you many blessings, and take care. Bye-bye.